with respect to an advantage that you and I have in offering this opportunity to other people. Huge advantage that you need to know about in terms of building your own home-based business. You're not going to get around it, okay? Vima is going to send you a big 1099 every year with how much money they've sent you, okay? But there are legally things that you need to be aware of. We don't have time for a tax seminar, but we do have time to just raise your awareness to that. And to do that, our longtime friend, of course, and elite leaders, Becky and Glenn Polson, have built not only a remarkable Vima business, but a very, very successful financial planning business as well. He's a certified financial planner. He's helped Bethany and I for years and years and years with a lot of our affairs, and he's going to come and share with you for just a few minutes on the important things you need to focus on. Hopefully you pick this book up, and if you haven't done it, do not leave the event. Folks, I'm not talking about can you build your business faster? Yes. I'm talking about money that you can be saving legally right now if you master the simple things that are in Glenn's book. So put your hands together. Welcome to the stage, elite leader Glenn Polson.
Thank you, Tom. The other day, Luke Wilburn came up to me and he said, "Now, with all the money these baby boomers, not the baby boomers, with all the money that we're going to hit them in a minute, with all the money that these young people are making, they really need to get a hold of the taxes, need to figure copy this up." And I said, better yet, I said, when April comes around and they sit down with their tax preparer, and the tax preparer tells them about the thousands of dollars in taxes that they're going to have to pay, they're going to get a major shock. Okay? But fortunately, for both the YPR and the older generation, this is the absolute best tax shelter, tax vehicle out there, your own home-based network marketing business. Now, the government actually invests in us. They invest in us with tax breaks. They want us to be profitable. So, to understand how this works, we've got a few slides here. And the slides aren't turning. There we go. Nope, that's not the right slide. There we go. Okay, this is on page 8 of this book. And to understand how this works, we have an incremental tax system, meaning as your income goes up, the tax brackets go up, 10, 15. Most people are in a 25% federal tax bracket and a 5% state tax bracket. So understand how taxes work and the value of deduction. Let's first look at what happens when we make money. Let's say you're making $100,000 a year. And at the end of the year, your boss says, "Hey, you did a great job, here's a $10,000 bonus." You're ecstatic, you just got a $10,000 bonus. But Uncle Sam's excited just as well. Why? Because remember I said most people are in the 30% tax bracket, so when your income goes up by $10,000, as the slide shows, you're still in that 30% tax bracket, you have to pay an additional $3,000 in taxes. Okay, now, let's understand the value of a deduction. So let's say it's towards the end of the year and you just got into your Vima business and you picked up this book, and on pages 18, 19, and 20 there's over 100 legitimate deductions that now are available to you thanks to your home-based Vima network marketing business. So you get in this book and you see how you have $10,000 in deductions, so you've got that same $100,000 income, but now you're bringing your income down by $10,000, you're in that same 30% tax bracket, you've just saved $3,000 in taxes. Okay, let me show you how this works. This is on page 10. And what this example is, it's assuming we've got a couple making $100,000 a year. If your income is $50,000, just cut the numbers in half. It's pretty significant. On the left side, you see a whole bunch of expenses. Okay? Now, these are expenses that you're going to spend whether or not you're a business or not. Entertainment, travel, auto. We've all got these expenses. But the beauty of once you're in the network marketing business, you're in business. And now what were once personal expenses now become legitimate business deductions. Let me explain how this works. Let's take entertainment and travel as an example. Normally when you go out for dinner, you go out to a restaurant, it's a personal expense. Okay? You go back home to visit the relatives for the holidays, it's a personal expense. But as soon as you get into the Vima business, Now when you go out, we're now going to convert those personal expenses into business expenses like follows. So when you go out for dinner, you're now going to be telling people about your business opportunity. You're going to be telling them about your products. Or you're going to say, who do you know who? You're going to ask for referrals. It's the same thing when you go home for the holidays. You're bringing product, you're bringing tools. And again, you're going to go home and you're going to say, hey, let me tell you about this awesome business I did. Let me tell you about these products. Because the key word is it's your intent. Your intent isn't going out for dinner just to party or go back home and see the relatives. Your intent is you're in business to tell these people about your business. So now all of a sudden, those expenses are now a tax deduction. So to further understand how this works, the numbers I have there are actual expenses average expenses that a couple would spend in all those categories. You add them all up, $20,000. You're in that same 30% tax bracket. You're bringing your income down by $20,000. You're saving $6,000 in taxes courtesy of your VEMA business. Pretty awesome, huh? Yeah. Now, what's the message this weekend? Enrolling. This is an enrolling tool. Take page 10, photocopy it a bunch of times, whether you're on the phone or you're in front of somebody. Say, hey, John, let me ask you a question. How much do you spend? And go down each one of these areas, write the numbers in, multiply times 30%, and you're going to show them how they can save thousands of dollars by getting in business with you. Now, how many times do people say to you, well, I can't afford to get into this business. I can't afford. We've heard that one, right? Well, I can tell you, you cannot afford not to get in this business. Right? Look at this. $6,000 a year in tax savings. What's that worth? That's worth $500 a month in increased income. That's a $100 a week raise immediately. Okay? We are required to be on a 2-case a month auto ship to get top pay with VEMA. This easily pays for your auto ship. The IRS also needs to see that you're on 2 case a month auto ship. Why? It's a qualifier. It shows that you as a Brad partner are in this business to make a profit. And what's the emphasis we turned on to recently? Silver packs. We need silver packs for the car bonus, and we also need silver packs for that awesome frenzy bonus. So your tax savings can easily pay for a silver pack, or as Linda talked about, a gold pack in just a couple of months. Pretty good stuff, huh? Hey. Now, my why has always been the tax benefits. When I got into network marketing years ago, I was a certified financial planner, and people say to me, how do I save taxes? I tell them about start your own home-based business, network marketing business. But my why has grown over the last few years. The reason is I'm a baby boomer. There's 75 million people like me that are getting this white stuff in their hair. Okay? When I look out in the audience, I still have it. Look out the audience, I see a few of you with white stuff in your hair, some with a whole lot more. But there's 75 million of us that have retirement staring us straight in the face. I mean, it's there, it's here. You know, Becky and I, we were at 3 conferences this summer. One put on by the investment industry, and 2 put on by insurance companies. And the whole emphasis was on taking care of the baby boomer. But what they were doing was showing us products to help them get a better income. Well, the assumption is they have money. But again, these are the real headlines that are out there in the papers right now. Any newspaper out there, they've been out there for a while. I love this first one. Boomers' future shaky. 73% who work in retirement due to their dwindling nest egg. The nest egg's dwindling not because of real estate coming down in value or a flat stock market. It's because they're spending their retirement savings. Why? Because of what we talk about, unemployment and underemployment. They need the money. I just got this article from the Society of Actuaries. I'm sure everybody'd love to get this. More than 1/3 of pre-retirees over age 45 do not expect to retire. And the reason is because they lack the financial resources to do so. Well, why do they lack the financial resources to do so? Listen to this. This is from LIMRA. LIMRA is the Life Insurance Marketing Research Association. And they said here 41% of people between ages 55 and 64, in a poll that they did recently, said they were saving nothing for retirement. Okay? Then it says here, while 21% were saving less than $100 a month. That means 2/3 of the baby boomers are right there for retirement and they aren't saving anything. Do we have a problem out there, or do we have a solution? As we're going to see here in a little bit. Now, when we were at these conferences, I would ask my peers, who were obviously our age group, and I would say, you've probably got clients just like Becky and I do. You've had it for 20, going on 30 years, and you're doing pre-retirement planning, and you're working on the numbers and doing projections. I said, how many of those people are not going to reach their retirement goals? And it's more than less. And I said to them, what do you tell them? And they say, well, I tell them they've got to live on less or they've got to work longer. And I say, well, how do they like that? And they say, they don't like it. Well, at one of our conferences we went to, this is what the multi-billion-dollar life insurance companies, investment companies are telling people like Becky and I how to help our clients. Strategies for closing retirement income gaps. There's number 1 and 2, live on less and postpone retirement, meaning work longer. And all the rest of them don't look too good either. But I've added 2 on the bottom. Decrease taxes to increase savings. We just learned how to do that. And then I have 3 question marks in the bottom. What is glaringly missing? And the first one that shouts it out gets this.
Oh, multiple streams of income. Multiple
you guys
streams
didn't have to fight. I couldn't hear it.
Multiple streams of income.
Close. I asked, again, our peers, when they tell me live on less or work longer, I say to them, why don't you teach them how to create an additional income source? They look at me with blank stares. They don't know how to do it. What do we know how to do? Okay? Create that additional income source. Now, on page 27 of this book is one of my favorite chapters. It's called Wealth Creation. It shows the value of an income stream as far as how it can replace lost savings. I just love this slide. Challenge of the decade. Solving for consumer retirement income needs that are rapidly becoming critical concerns. Again, this was from one of our conferences. Why are they becoming critical concerns? Starting last year, 11,000 people a day started turning 65. So the baby boomers started turning 65 last year. And there's 75 million people behind them. Does that sound like we've got a critical concern that's come in front of us? But then it says, but do not yet have widely accepted or appropriate solutions. Listen to this, in the Society of Actuaries. 31% of pre-retirees who plan to retire say they will also start a small business. But again, not yet widely accepted solutions. Is network marketing widely accepted? No. That's what we get paid for. We get paid for showing people about this awesome business. Okay? And then have you ever heard the saying, people are looking for what we've got? The article right there said 1/3 of the pre-retirees say they want to start their own business. Okay. The young people are showing us up. They're showing what they can do with the Young People's Revolution. There's been discussion. Hey, but again, there's 75 million of us out there with the gray hair. Okay, it's time for us to do this. Okay?
Baby boomer revolution.
BBR, right. Okay, in 1971, Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young had a song called Chicago. The oldest baby boomer back then was only 25 years old. The first line of the chorus said, we can change the world, rearrange the world. That's exactly what the YPR are doing. They're taking charge of their financial future. Okay? It's time for the baby boomers to change their financial future, and they have to start now. And then they can once again say, we changed the world.
Is officially launched. Though I think there's a lot more excitement at the, let's see, where's Waldo, right? Yeah.